My children, they make a mockery. They make a mockery of truth, of justice, of righteousness. They make a mockery of the judicial system. They make a mockery of me. Do not think that I will stand for this. The leaves fall in the autumn, whether man wishes or not. And the wheels of Yah's justice are faithful and true, whether man likes it or not. Many will hide and say, but he doesn't see. And they'll fool themselves, but it will come back to haunt them, because I am the just one, the righteous one, the holy one, and you're making a mockery of me. In this lifetime you may feel that you will escape being seen, even though many see, but you may say, I'll be free from the effects of being seen by these who perceive. But I know, I see, and it will come back to thee, as sure as you see falling from the trees the autumn leaves. Who is on the Lord's side? The line is drawn in the sand. Choose ye this day whom you will serve. What will you listen to? Who will you listen to? Whose commands? When you side with me, when you side with my revealed law, when you side with justice, you're siding with the nature of the character of Yah. Who is on the Lord's side? If God be for you, who can possibly be against you? In this lifetime you will see the tribulation, you will see the opposition, you will see the lies. Indeed, their prevalation, for they are prevalent even upon this land. But there is a remnant who will stand and say no. Righteousness must be the banner of this land. For this land is not her land, it's not their land, it's not even the land of those who are voted in to represent the land. This land is my land. Who are they who will stand and say, I belong to the Lord, and this is his land? David was small. Goliath was great. Goliath had them cowering in fear each and every day, as with insolence he stood against the Israelites. He blasphemed my name, and yet they cowered in fear because he was a giant, and there was none who could stand against such a one. They didn't have bullets and guns. They had clubs and spears and shields, rocks. But Goliath created great fear, and he blasphemed the God of Israel. And it's this way today. There's a giant in the land, her name is Hillary. And she feels she's above the law. And she strikes fear because what she has in her hand is a very painful spear. which it can inflict death and torment. Many are in fear of this Goliath. She has a track record, and she stops at nothing. She has no respect for the laws, nor of my covenant. These are my laws that this land has chosen to be based upon. It's my laws, and as a result, as long as you are on the Lord's side, I will fight for you. This land I will protect. But when you come out from the umbrella of my protection and you open yourself up to the influence and the power of demonic infestation, you are opening yourselves up to be overtaken. And such is happening to you, America, because you have chosen. You've chosen corruption, bribery, unrighteousness, illegality. You who swear that this land is a land of justice for all and liberty for all, yet you hold back from the laws of Yah. How long will that last? But David came. He wasn't an insider. He was a complete outsider. He wasn't even part of the fighting men, the army. He wasn't part of that contingency that was supposed to protect Israelites who cowered in fear. No, David came as an outsider. He had a different mission. He had the sheep in the field. And I say to you, my son and daughter, in this nation, even those who were part of the so-called army, they're voted in. They sit on seats in the Senate and in the Congress. They are supposed to represent righteousness, the laws of the land. They're the very ones who make the laws of the land, and yet the very laws that are made, they spurn, they scorn, they turn a blind eye. How long will this go on? And I call forth a man. He may not be in the army of men. He may not sit on a seat of Congress or as a governor or a place of influence within the structure of the system. But there's a righteous indignation within him. As David said, "Who are you, you uncircumcised Philistine, to blaspheme the name of the God of Israel? Yahweh is his name." So the question, my son and daughter, the question, my children, is this man sent from me? Did I care about the Israelites? Did I care that they cowered in fear? They couldn't see their hand in front of their face because of their blindedness. Smoke got in their eyes, and bribery was in their taste. They choose not to do what's right. They've chosen to follow the way and sway of bribery, mockery, control, and money. Many go to jail for so much less than what has already been done by Hillary. This man is standing up and he's saying, hey, this land is built on righteousness. There should be a border, there should be a wall, there should be law, there should be order, there should be respect for its officers, its laws, its enforcement. This man is standing up and saying this is wrong, to be wooed and then taken over by the lobbyists, who are paid great sums of money by big corporations to make sure that the vote goes according to our specifications. This is a mockery. My son and daughter, my children, listen. How long will this be allowed to go on? If I didn't care about America, I'd shrug my shoulders and say, go ahead, you get what you deserve. But I see so many on their knees, praying and believing for revival to once again come to this land that is so free. It's a beacon of light. It is a ground whereby people desire from all around, the entire nations, covet, oh, if only I could come to America. But now, there are many that say, I don't want to be a part of that nation, because they see the corruption. It's like a big infestation. And if your house is filled with corruption, like an insect infestation, who wants to go there? And even there are some within this nation who have been given status, citizens, who stand up and say, I don't want to be a part of this nation because of what I see. Now, some are just, some are unjust, but the truth is, my children, this land is an extension of me. Israel were an extension of me. I have a plan. I have a plan to raise up David, a man after my heart, because Saul failed miserably. Have faith that I love you. Have faith that I love America. Have faith that I love the people of this land, from the poorest to the greatest, no matter what their lot. But know this, those who shake their fist at me, despite my love for them, they have sown, and they will reap. So there needs to be teshuvah. There needs to be repentance. There needs to be brokenness. There needs to be a coming back to the ways of righteousness. Without this, America will fall as surely as all the other civilizations, empires, unions fell when they allowed sin like termites to eat until there was no strength to the structure within, and it will fall under its own weight. There is corruption throughout this land. And I'm calling this man. He's ringing a chord in the hearts of my children. Do not be fooled by all the smoke and mirrors, because that's exactly what is being presented publicly on every TV screen, on every radio broadcast. Oh, he's losing. Oh, his campaign is in disarray. This one that virtually destroyed 16 candidates with money and perversity, lies and manipulations behind them. He destroyed them. The lies were all around. And yet, they came down. My children, I love America, and I'm hearing your prayers. And if you will side on the Lord's side with me, the side of righteousness and integrity, when you will pray, if you obey my laws, even if you don't know me, but you obey my laws, are you not obeying me? And I see. And I will turn your heart back to me. So America, I will turn your heart back to me. But it's going to have to come as a step-by-step process. And I need to bring David to go out into the field and to bring down the giant and cut off her head with the sword. Yes, even the very sword that she wields. And you're going to see rejuvenation in Israel. Because those who are hidden and cowering and afraid, who didn't stand up as David and say, "Who are you to blaspheme the one who gave laws and called Israel? Who are you?" No, they're afraid. They're afraid because if she becomes president, she's no one to kill. And she has the venom of asps and cobras. And she'll strike. Indeed, look what she's done. They cower. They tremble. They hide themselves. They want to run. But I'll bring forth David to slay Goliath. But in that day, my children, those who were afraid, they're going to look at themselves and say, I wasn't a man of integrity. I didn't stand for what I knew to be true. They're going to see the righteous vindication of Yah. And it's going to be as even Nathan, who said to David, because it doesn't matter, even if you're the king, and you do that which is against Yahweh, it will come back to you. It was grace that Nathan came to David face to face. Had he not, the nation would have never reached its pinnacle. But David was a man when he was confronted by Nathan, who said, "You are the man, King David." He broke and he wept, he cried, because he was already broken inside. But he wouldn't let it come out because he thought he could hide. Well, my children, this will happen to many in this nation. And when it does, some will break like David, and they will come to me in brokenness and to Shiva, repentance, and they will turn from their wicked ways, and they will say, yes, I knew it. Yahweh, He is God. He is God. Yahweh, He is God. He is God. But death will come to many prophets, prophets who were on the wrong side of Yahweh's line in the sand. Death will come to many who spurned me, abhorred me, dishonored me. This came to all of those in Israel who turned to their way instead of Yah's way. When I said, I will fight for you. I've given you the land. I've given you the laws. I've given you my commands, and I've shown you. But there will be a remnant that will come forth, but many will not. Many will die because they chose not to listen to what I say. They chose to listen to the fear and to the bribery. Well, my sons and daughters, do I love America? I surely do. Is this my land? It surely is. But remember, I even let Israel collapse under its own depravity and disobedience to Yah. I even let Judah collapse in the temple to be destroyed, them taken away into Babylonian captivity because they feared not Yah. Do you think that I'll just let you have a pass on this? Do you think I'll just let you continue to go on spurning me in your disobedience. If a woman scorned is a bad thing, know this, it's a fearful thing to scorn Yah. It's a fearful thing to fall into the hands of the living God. And I am alive, America, and I hear. Fall on your faces, cry out for mercy, pray and believe, and if I choose, I will send forth a David to reestablish my law and my rules, to make great again the glory of this nation. But it won't be on man's foundation. It will be my foundation, my Torah, my law, my righteousness. And those who choose not, they will come down. Don't look at others in order to decide what you're going to do. That is the action of fools. I've challenged you. I've spoken to you. I've instructed you in the Torah. Instruction in righteousness, America. Who is on the Lord's side? Choose ye this day whom you will serve. Trust and obey